Hey, this is Jeff. Let's do a review on this Dobsonian here. I got a great review, and it turns out my boom mic wasn't working. So I could do it all over again. Maybe it'll see more practice. Okay, but if you were to ask me what's a great scope for beginners, or the most versatile scope for, say, advanced, not advanced, but experienced observers, an 8-inch Dobsonian is a fantastic scope. And if I had just one scope, it'd probably be, well, I'd go for 10-inch or 12-inch. It's just money. But a Dobsonian is a fantastic scope for a couple reasons. One, they're inexpensive. Two, mirrors, unlike cheap glass, tend not to have chromatic aberration, so you can go to very high powers. The theory is, or the rule of thumb is, for every millimeter of aperture, say this is 200 millimeters, 8 inches, 200 millimeters, you get 2 powers of magnification. So 200 times 2 is 400. You can get to 400 on this, 400 magnification, okay? With an inexpensive refractor, you can't get there. It may be advertised as 536 power. It probably tops out for bright objects like Jupiter or the moon, maybe 40 power, okay? So the great thing about it is you can go to the theoretical limits, diffraction limiting, on the aperture. So 8-inch, 200 millimeters, 400, I'm pretty sure I can get here on this, okay? And that's plenty of power. I have an 18-inch there in the corner. I'm almost never past 300. So even the big mirrors, 300, 400. Experts get better, but I can't. The other thing, they tend to have shorter focal lengths than, say, a Schmidt-Cassegrain, so you can get wider field of view. And that is, everyone always says, beginners say, hey, how high can that go? What magnification can you go? I told you on this, to its limit, 400. But one of the more important things is how wide can you go? Pushing a scope through say the Milky Way or a star field, wide is good. Okay, and with the Dobsonian, a Newtonian, you can go from very wide to its limits on aperture as far as magnification. So all the way from wide to narrow. The other thing is with the Dobsonian is there is I like to say that when you've seen the photos are amazing. And typically if you look at something other than Jupiter, Saturn, and the moon, faint fuzzies, galaxies, and all that, they're smudges. Okay, it can be kind of disappointing. But the inspiring part about that is those are objects in the universe, and they're millions of light years away, things out of our galaxy, or tens of thousands of light years away in our galaxy, depends on what you're looking at. But there is a train of photons from that object that goes, we're awash in them, we can't see them. But there's enough of those photons, it's a direct train from that object into the telescope. In this case, it bounces off the back mirror, off the secondary mirror, and into your eyeball. It is a connected photon train from the object to your eyeball. It's not, photons of a paper, or electronics or a screen. It is a photon train from the object to your eyeball. You are really connected to that object. Okay? Now you can get that in any telescope, but the great thing about a Dobsonian that you can push is there is a greater connection by touching the scope and moving it, okay, and seeing the sky, the actual stuff. Your hands help make that connection to your body. I know it sounds weird, but it's connected to your eye. The telescope's connected to your hand. You're involved. It's a really great connection that you really don't get with hand controllers, motors, computers. They're nice to have, but there's some things like there are 2 galaxies, M81 and M82. They're real close to each other. If you use a hand controller, to get rid of backlash, it goes one direction. So if you want to go from here to here, it goes the other direction, and it kind of spirals there. You would never guess that it's here to here. Because of the gears, it kind of takes this circuitous route. Now, with pushing it by hand, you actually get a feel for it. Okay? And one of the greatest things you can do is push a Dobsonian in a dark sky through a galaxy field, like Virgo. You can just, it's amazing. It's like galaxy, 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 galaxy. And that is, it's so hard to do with a hand controller, and it just doesn't feel the same. Looking at, say, the Veil Nebula, it's big. and you can't catch it in one eyepiece. One field of view. You got to move it. Okay. So there is this connection. There's this feel. There's this visceral impact of touching a scope, moving it. It connects you to the sky better. So it's, that is something that you don't see in the spec sheet, but it's really amazing. And this is an experience that's really great. It's fantastic. And a Dobsonian, what are the negatives on this? It's big. You see, it's heavy. Okay. A minor one is that the mirrors can get out of alignment, and collimating is something you either need a friend to check out and fix for you, or you have to learn it. A couple tools. Laser makes it real easy. They have laser collimators, $50 to $60, really easy to learn it. But again, $60 for the real easy. So if you're willing to spend $60, not an issue. The other thing is its size. You can see it's big. Okay. So, oh, by the way, this does have a 2-inch focuser on this, so you can put a 2-inch single-speed Crayford. You can put 2-inch eyepieces in there, which are really good for the really wide fields. Low power wide field, so it will accept a 2-inch eyepiece. All right, but the challenge on this is its size. Okay, it's not a compact scope. It's big. It's not all that heavy, but it is really awkward. Okay, it's really not that much bigger than a tripod and a refractor. Okay, but it is, it is heavy. It's bulky. So you can, if you're big and strong, or just young. It's not that heavy, it's just really, really awkward. Okay, so you can carry it around. It may want to swing, so don't let it swing. Use your body to keep it from, rotating forward. Okay. The other thing you can do, the smarter thing to do, is you can take this off. Now, when I first saw these, I've never had one. This is the Orion XT Classic. Springs, I was thinking lame, not really cool, but it's really easy to take it off. Okay. So you can get it, carry it. Two trips. There's no point in doing this, what I'm doing here. You don't want to take it into 2 pieces and then carry it in 1 trip. Keep it in 1 piece, carry it in 1 trip. But if you're going to take it apart, these springs are actually quite easy. So I'm going to put it in like this. And it depends. If you put it in this way, then your eyepiece is towards the ground. You don't want that. Put the eyepiece upwards. Okay? Okay. And then it's real simple to just lock it on like so. You're ready to observe. So carry it out and pop the top off, and you are ready to observe. Okay? No power. They do have guided versions of these with a computer. Finder scope. May have to align that with the scope. You don't want the pointer scope pointing that way and the scope pointing that way, so you got to line that up. There's instructions on the web on that. You can also eyeball it, lining up on the back. Yeah, it's a really robust, capable scope, and it has a feel to it that is it's a deeper experience. And let's see. You can put a real heavy eyepiece here. It's going to want to go nose heavy, but you can throw magnets on here. There are magnetic weights. You just pop it on there to balance it out. If you wanted to do astrophotography, you can get equatorial platforms. They tend to be rather expensive. By the time you spend $600 on a equatorial platform, maybe for astrophotography, maybe you do something different. Motorized scope, equatorial scope. But it's just really versatile. It's a great scope.